broadcast so people can tune into that conversation and receive tools and just more guidance, and I'll answer some questions. And so now I'm no longer in the ER, and I'm solely doing this work globally. People all over the country have, people are waking up and of like mind who are beginning to see.
Probably helping more people, saving more lives today than you ever have before.
Yeah.
And thank you so much. I'm sorry we are out of time. This has been delightful. I want to hear another 40 minutes or so. This is everything we teach. Thank you so much for being on our show.
Thank you so much. What a blessing. I really appreciate it. I love you all of us. We're connected. So thank you for being here.
What an absolute joy and a treat for us. And we are now going to take a 10-minute break. I encourage you to go and check out Dr. Kim's website and her YouTube channels. And we'll see you back soon for the Circle of 12. Welcome back from the break, everyone. Wasn't Dr. Kim an absolute delight?
I said to her and to you and to everybody who was listening that that's the kind of doctor I would like to find.
Absolutely.
Because I really truly understand that there are wonderful doctors out there and there's a place for medicine and all that, but to have a conscious physician who understands that the body is responsible for what we have in the disease as well as the other things that they've learned is gold, and it really is. And so I searched a long time to find a doctor like that. I did, and I had it for years here in my hometown. But this just was wonderful.
Absolutely. And the message was just so pertinent to tune into your body's wisdom. And that's what we're going to do in this next section, where we're going to move into the Circle of 12 meditation. And so as we prepare to enter that Circle of 12, I invite you to get into a position where your body can completely relax. And we're going to release all expectations. For some of you, it's a year since doing the first Circle of 12 meditation. For others, this may be the very first time. And regardless of how many times you have done this experience before, each time is unique and different for you. And so you release all expectations. Just allow the experience to be what it is that you need in this moment. And the way you can deepen your experience is to close those beautiful eyes, release all the tension from your body, and welcome, be open, be excited by the new awareness that is going to come for you in this next few moments.
Greetings, dear ones. I am Cryion. Come a little closer. Almost a year ago, I started saying those things to you. Come closer. And for weeks, we have been saying these things to you. If you could summarize the message of the Circle of 12, it would sound a little like this. There are grander realities of truth around every single human being. And those grander realities of truth hide. They hide waiting for something. Very difficult to explain such an esoteric concept. The aha moment that some of you have had or will have or have had in the past regarding truth hides almost completely until your willingness to accept it blossoms. You've described that which is a veil which often separates you from spirit. That's not exactly so. That veil you talk about separates you from you. Grander truths and evolved thinking are not placed upon you. They are there in the room with you, waiting for you to examine and to think about it. And to say, what if? You just heard a medical doctor, a physician, one who spent time, a lot of time, in the emergency rooms. And what she had to say to you that was the most profound thing was this, is that nothing healed and nothing happened until the human being, even herself, had a relaxing moment where they did not fight the issues around them or the truths that they were told were there. And instead, they opened up just a little window where they could say, what if this is all different than I thought? The what if, dear ones, opens you to another layer. The aha moment of truth. But the what if also is very, very difficult for many. If you've learned that something is something and the way it is absolute and you cannot change it, and here it is every single day of your life, unchanged, 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 and somebody comes along and says, you know you can change it. What's your first reaction? No, you can't. Somebody has told you incorrectly. That's your first reaction. Because the absolutes of your life, often ingrained, embedded, sewn in to the fabric of who you are, very, very difficult for a human to say, what if everything I was told had a grander truth to it, or perhaps was only the beginning of something bigger? That perhaps there are no absolutes except one. I am eternal and am loved by the Creator. The what if experience, that moment, aha, is the invitation for you, even right now. Whatever you've been told, whatever is before you that would block you from whatever you've come here for. It doesn't matter whether it's a healing of the body, physical, or whether it's the stress that you might be under. It all seems to manifest itself in ill health. And you're right, it does. The physician has told you today what she found out and discovered all of those years, not just of training, but watching those in the hospital, those before her. Perhaps some of them wither away and even expire. When she knew that if they had had an aha experience, that the body would have taken over another direction completely. The body is listening for the aha, for the acceptance. Because so often that barrier that you have that keeps the disease bottled into that which is you, that barrier, like a cork that keeps everything working to your disadvantage, so often that can fly out of that bottle with just a little thought. What if it isn't correct? What if these truths that I was told about a disease I have or a situation I'm in or any of those things, what if they were variable and not absolute? What if you could fix it? So often that body of yours is listening for that. We have told you for 31 years, consciousness is a reality. Consciousness is the king physician. It is the self-physician for you. That so much of what you have that you call disease sits there and was generated and continues for two reasons. Number one, somehow, some way you have allowed it because of what you've been taught. And the second reason is you wouldn't let it go. This is the teaching of Cryion, always has been. That your consciousness is so much more powerful than any pill you could ever take. But it is waiting for you to say that. Perhaps in an affirmation, perhaps just in a thought. Wow, Cryon's right. This body of yours has been proven to be a healer with so many processes on this planet that exist now and have been ancient. The process of homeopathy, of kinesiology, and more, and more, and more. Call upon the body's wisdom to be acknowledged, number one, and then turned loose to heal, number two. It's so fascinating. If you haven't heard it before, that you can take a tincture of a chemical that has intent from a homeopathist, and your body sees the intent and goes to work on it, and healing is the result. What does that tell you about consciousness? We've told you before that you can be your own homeopathist. Your consciousness is the tincture. What are you going to do with this grander truth? There's a bridge to cross. It's always metaphoric. The bridge is going from the known to the unknown. So let's call that bridge the aha bridge. This time, this night, we're together. And let's say that one side of the bridge is what you've been told and what you cannot do and what you think you can. And the other side of the bridge is the aha, that what if everything was different than you thought? And I want you to cross that bridge with me now. And we're going to do something special. We're going to do something we haven't really done to this extent before. I want you to be able, with your mind, to cross that bridge from what you think you know to what you don't know. There's always those intellectuals that say, wait a minute, you're asking me to think about what I don't know. Yes, I am. Can you think past what you know and even say to your intellectual mind, are there things I don't know? And the intellectual mind will say, of course there are. And then you can say, okay, I'm going to think about what I don't know as a possibility. Is that okay? And the intellectual will go, I'll buy that one. Come with me, all of you. Take my hand. Let's cross that bridge. When you go into the place where there are things you don't know, how do you feel about that? There are some who will say, well, I'm not comfortable with not knowing things that might be around me. And here is the practice of the visualization of peace. Are you afraid? If Spirit is with you, if the angels are walking next to you, if they're holding your hands, angels holding your hands, eternal beings holding your hands, are you then afraid? And you would say, well, if that's the case, I'm okay. Well, that's the case. Because when you're in this place that is not known by you at this moment, that's what's going on. We always take you in this exercise called the Circle of 12. We always take you to a theater. That in itself is a metaphor. In a theater, many things happen, but you think of perhaps a performance. You are the thespian in this theater, and you often interact, but all eyes are on you. And many times those eyes in the past have been yourselves, if you recall. That particular Healing Wednesday when you talked to yourselves and they were all listening, like a theater audience would listen to poetry, music, something beautiful, something that you have to say on stage. And that one had you talking to the cells and saying, aha, I'm talking to my cells for the first time and they're listening for the first time because my cells know a truth. And the truth is this, that my cells know that nothing I've been told is actually true. That I can heal with consciousness, even though I've been told it's foolishness. We're going to do something different this night, something requested this night. It's an attribute of multidimensionality that I wish to speak to as you go through perhaps a portal, we call it a doorway, if you wish, into the theater. Notice, there's always a doorway. That in itself is also a metaphor for you. It's a linear concept of taking and going from one place to another or into a structure. It changes where you are. It's simple. You might not think of that. What if the theater floated in the sky? You'd be less apt to want to go. But if you go through a doorway, you're going inside. And inside is the theater. Do you understand why we do what we do? Let's go there. Let's go there because something is going to happen. You are about to participate in something where the offshoot of it, that is to say, the byproduct of it, the side effect, will be your healing. Go into that theater with me right now. This theater is always the same. It's been chosen to be in a circle because in a circle there is no beginning and there is no end. Wherever you enter the theater, this circle theater is the entrance. It's the entrance for you. It's the beginning of your experience, even though it's a circle. This particular circle, this theater in the round, always has an elevated stage. You have to go down into the audience or where the audience sits in order to go onto the stage. There is a metaphor there, dear ones. If you haven't figured it out, everything means something else. That is to say, you never come from backstage. You're always then part of those you're going to meet. And you actually walk through them or where they're going to be before you get on stage. A metaphor. These are the lessons of spirit. This time you go down, you climb the stairs, you go on stage. There is a chair. The chair, a metaphor. Relax. You sit. That's all it means. If you have to stand there, there is an idea that you've got to stand and deliver something. That creates anxiety, often fear, uncomfortable, but you're going to sit down. That's a metaphor. Relax. Relax into your heart. Sit there for a moment as the lights start to come up and you see who's in the audience. And you recognize none of them. I'll tell you who's there. Everyone who's watching this show. Now and in the future. May I give a number for you? Think 10,000 and beyond. 10,000 and beyond. Those who will see this show now and later. 10,000. What can 10,000 old souls do together in coherence? That is the question that has been asked. Dear Cryion, when you have this many people together and the souls are united in one aspect of direction and intent, why not use it to send peace to the planet or healing to the planet or healing to one another? Good question. The answer has always been this. It happens automatically simply because you are here with the intent to be here. That sounds like a circle of logic, but that is how a multidimensional energy works. You don't have to have a specific, independent, focused intent for the planet. Just gathering together as souls in this fashion is light for the planet. But this time, let's focus it. Let's focus it right now. Right now, all of you together. You on stage, the yous who are also on stage in your stages, the ones who are around you, the ones who are coming through this portal in this way, in this program. over 10,000. I want you right now to imagine this planet and visualize it at complete and total peace, where anger is something that is not normal, where greed is uncommon. Sure, it's still there, but it's not the thing that surfaces. Where kindness and compassion are the first thoughts to humanity, and where healing is starting to occur, where hospitals are starting to see it, and physicians like the one you met today are acknowledging the body is king. Heal the world. Change is upon you. See the lack of fear on this planet, all of you together, more than 10,000, focused on this. And if you do this, and if you do this well, dear ones, the side effect is healing for you and your body, because that is the process of compassion. And we have given you those trainings over and over. That is the compassionate action of you today for the planet. As you sit there with the others, making this affirmation for the planet, it comes back on you, and you will sit there and your cells are vibrating, and they're saying, aha, maybe, just maybe, what if this is the change that he or she asked for right now? Stay and think of the profundity that you're creating for this planet, dear ones. Stay and enjoy this healing. And so it is.